Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. So for today's video, we are going to discuss class 9th English chapter Kathmandu by Vikram Seth. So without further ado, let's start. So in the starting of the story, Vikram took a cheap affordable hotel room on rent, and as he was tired from the journey, he slept for few hours. The next morning, he visited two temples in Kathmandu along with Mr. Shah's son and nephew. One of the temples was the pilgrimage for Hindu and the other one of the Buddhist. Outside the Pashupatinath temple, a board was hung which read the entry into the temple was restricted to Hindus only. There was chaos outside the temple as priests, hawkers, devotees, tourists, and various animals moved around. The writer and his friends offered a few flowers into the temple. There was a huge rush of pilgrims and they were elbowing each other in order to move ahead and reach the priest. As a royal princess appeared, everyone got aside to give way and bowed to her. At the main entrance, a group of foreigners who were dressed up in saffron color clothes like sadhus were trying to gain entry into the temple. The guard denied entry as he knew that they were not Hindus. Then he saw two monkeys fighting and one chased the other, who jumped onto a shivling, then ran around the temple and finally reached the banks of the holy Baudhnath river, which flows next to the temple. There he saw a washerman washing clothes and children bathing in the river. The writer noticed how the flowers was thrown into it from the balcony of a building. A small temple protruded from the platform on the riverbank. It is said goddess in it would come out and the time period of the Kalyug would thus be ended by her. Then the writer describes the Baudhnath temple, which is holy place for Buddhists. The place had a feel of calmness. There was a huge white colored dome described by a road. There was a Tibetan market on the edge of the road where immigrants from Tibet had out of shops selling felt bags, printed dresses, and silver jewelry. There was no crowd, and contrary to the scene at the Pashupatinath temple, the Baudhnath temple was calm and quiet with busy streets surrounding it. The writer describes Kathmandu. The city has many different things to offer. It is a business hub, has religious places and many shrines. Deities decorated with flowers on the narrow busy streets. There are hawkers selling fruits, flutes, postcards for the tourist. You can find many shops selling imported cosmetic film rolls which were used in the old cameras, chocolates, copper utensils, and Nepalese antiques. Many different sounds can be heard like music from the radio, car horn, bicycle bells, moo sound of the cows, and screaming vendors selling the wares. The writers bought a bar of marzipan, a corn on the cob which had been roasted on charcoal fire by a roadside vendor. He had garnished it with lemon juice, salt, and chili powder. He also bought some love story comic and a Reader's Digest magazine too. After reading all the things, he drank Coca-Cola, which is an aerated drink. He thought of taking an adventurous route back home. It would be a bus or train journey till Patna. From there, he would sail in a boat on the Ganga river and cross Banaras to reach Allahabad. From Allahabad, he would sail upon the Yamuna river, cross Agra and reach Delhi. He gave up this adventurous trip and decided to take a flight from Kathmandu to New Delhi as he was exhausted. He purchased a ticket from the Nepal Airlines office for the next day's flight. The writer saw a flute seller selling different basuris. He was different from other hawkers. He was standing in a corner of the square outside the hotel. He was holding a pole which had an attachment on top of it. There were 50-60 flutes stuck in it. It resembled the thorny body of porcupine. There were flutes made of bamboo and also cross flutes and recorders. The man would keep the pole on the ground and would play different flutes for short duration. He was calm, only the music of the flute could be heard. He played it meditatively and was not anxious to attract attention. At times, he sold one flute but did not seem too interested to have a good sale. He would take breaks to talk to the fruit seller standing next to him. It seemed that this had been his routine since many years. The music of flute enchanted Vikram and he could not go away from there. He finds flute music to be the most universal sound. Flutes are played in many regions and have different names and varieties like shahukachi in Japan, the deep bansuri of Hindustani classical music, the clear breathy flutes in South America, and the high-pitched flutes in China. Each flute has a different way to play it and the sound varies in pitch and depth. The sound that merges out of a flute is the most common sound, that is, the sound of human voice. As the bansuri is played by the mouth, the player exhales into the flute to produce music and he pauses to take a breath. The music of flute also stops. He is surprised that he is deeply influenced by the sounds of the bansuri. Never before has he noticed something in such depth as he noticed the flute seller as his wares. So this was all about the summary of this story. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please press the like button. Also, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching.